Anyway, here's the dog. Nice face. Thank you. All the prostitutes I pay for. Hey, where you going, buddy? No running away just because I start filming you. I'm feeling my doggy. He feels like doggy. Who's a good boy, buddy? No, he's good, man. He woke up from a really good nap, though, in order to start the live with me. Yeah, you ain't wrong, dude. And tomorrow's going to be in the 20s here, so we aren't happy. I don't care if my dog poops inside. I really don't. Who's a good boy? What are you smelling there? Is that the finger I fed you chicken with today? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Who's my good boy? Yep. And by the way, I'm looking right at. You see that little connector sitting on top of that fan there? That is the 12 volt high voltage for a graphics card that I forgot to send out. So I need to message that buyer and tell him, hey, look, dude, I fucked up. I don't like ooping outside when it's old either. Hello, Dave. You don't blame him. No, he'll go outside and make me stand out there, dude. He's a good boy, but he's also an asshole. Hey, Rocky, are you an asshole? Yeah, that's about right. He's a good boy. Who's my good boy? Can you smile? Can you go? Close enough. That was your Saturday and Sunday. Uneventful. People shipped in guns to my gun store without telling me they were coming. And now I'm waiting for them to pick stuff up. How do you do? Yes, you finally knocked over the sight on the 226. Yeah. Well, good. It'll finally shoot right for you. You got any new guns you buying? Nope, nothing on the horizon. There's guns that I want. Look, he's got a monocle. Yes, look at the distinguished gentleman. He licked his own anus. I don't like pooping outside when it's as cold as well. Frick, I can't spell. Don't worry, I can't read. He's such a tolerant puppy. He knows what's up. All right, buddy, I'm going to do some filming. So, yeah, I have the phone plugged in right now, so please bear with it. Yeah, so the guns that are up there today, they've been rearranged a little bit. I pulled a couple of them down because with the guns on display like that, it blocks off that bottom row and blocked off the guns that were behind there. So I moved them out into visible areas, like I put it there. And then, yeah, so like the DWX is joining the TSOS in the computer case for tonight. And then my Para Ordnance and my two Gersons, I put the top back on the 2011. And then I moved the Rock Island 5.0 up a little bit. So, yeah. Just kind of did a little bit of reconfiguring. Also, I put like 11 guns up for sale in my store. They're not on the website. I'm not using the website right now, so whatever. And then the Benelli's up on the wall because my buddy is in Chicago and can't do the trade yet. Also, thank you, State of Virginia, for passing a law that allows private sales again just before, or passing an injunction that allows them to happen again, just as the entire state flips and goes back to the way it was when they tried to take all of our fucking freedoms away. We're not trying to take your guns, sir. This law prohibits me from buying certain guns. Yeah, but if you already got them or you can buy one used, then you're fine. That sounds like skullduggery. You ain't wrong. I don't know what this was, but it felt soft. Really? 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 Are we still live? Okay. Apparently my internet, which is 1.8 gigabits up and down, is lagging tonight. There we go. All right. Let me do a little bit of zooming in because we don't need to be that zoomed out to see the goddamn wall. All right, so how's that look? Does that look good? There we go. Yeah. That's a better picture. All right. ICU. Thank you. ICUP. Let's see. It would be cool to see you review GP Arms. I don't know what it is. It's a former bull gunsmith that left and started his own armory. Brother, I would love to do it, but I literally bought his dinner with change out of my truck today. So we are so cash strapped right now that I can't afford to buy a gun right now. Made chili, not going to be a fun poop. It's a little spicy. That's fun. Doesn't private sales hurt the business money, though? Not really, because in the state of Virginia, the most I'm allowed to charge on a private transfer for an individual is 19 bucks. How do you feel about the Chris Vector? I really don't. The Chris Vector is cool, but you can't run them full auto in the United States as a civilian, so they're pointless. You should be able to private sale, though. You should not have to pay a shop to facilitate a sale I coordinated. 100%. It also fucking increases the workload on the state police, and it's an annoying law, man. Ad fucking kicked in right when you spoke. Aha, yeah, no, steer me has a GP Arms. I can get the GP Arms. I can just call up GP Arms and get industry pricing and buy the fucking gun instead of asking for a review sample. But the problem is I just can't afford it right now. Everything right now going into the end of the year is really super fucking tight. It's part of the reason why I sold 2 cars and went to 1. It's part of why I consolidated all my debt in order to get all my guns out, because my guns were costing me $1,500 a month. My car payments were costing me like $1,200 a month. So by freeing up the car payments and dropping the car payment down to $350, technically $460 or something like that when you count in my insurance, and then not having to pay $1,500 a month to keep my guns pawned, it allows me to do more, but it'll be months before I see any return on that because I still have a credit card payment. You know, everybody has credit cards. I have a loan payment. I have 2 loan payments actually. So. Good evening, Don. What is up? 20 is 20, so man. Well, here's the thing about that, though, Justin. In the state of Virginia, the state police get $2 per every transaction they process, but the shop gets the 19. But most shops, at least in my area, continue to charge $35 to $50 for a private sale, regardless of the law. Because as long as the state police get their $2, they never question you. Sorry, I gotta take this thing off. It's too hot. I thought I'd be comfortable, but I'm not. It's a Duluth Trading Company insulated shirt that my friend gave me. So now I can come to you and can buy all your personal. I mean, technically you're out of state. So if you want to buy a long gun, yeah. Basis 10 you want to review. I haven't reached out to him yet. And here's the thing. I don't want to review a gun and have to send it back. If I have to borrow a gun, a T&E gun, and send the gun back, I think that is... It's not the way I want to do it. I'd rather have the gun so that, like with the Rock Island, I reached out to Rock Island. With the SIG, I reached out to SIG. I'm like, look, dude, I'm doing all this work for you. Just give me the fucking gun. And they agreed. And yeah, so when I'm doing all the work, I want to be paid, compensated fairly. Hey, Snucka, Bruce. Thanks for the man love the other day. You're good. I'm not doing good. I have to get back surgery again. Can't walk or really do anything. Protect your back, boys. Holy shit. Sorry to hear that, dude. Some places up here in Wisconsin charge more for handguns than they do for rifles for the paperwork. That's silly, Joe. We don't talk about Cali, not worth the breath. Oh, is that what you were saying? How to make you know me better than you did before. You know that you never heard me say anything about me again. What the hell? Is that music dialogue, or are you just having a stroke? Guys, I still think he has guns. I do not have any guns. These are all imaginary. If you see guns, this is a Rorschach board. This pegboard is actually covered with bunny and kitten carcasses. But if you're seeing guns, that's on you. For real. What's up, Hunter? Hunter. I gotta turn off the heat. I turned on the heater thinking that I was cold. I'm not cold. Also, the heater is back here behind me. So it's cooking my arsehole. Schmagula! What is someone's having a Stan moment. I'm having like a fucking menopause moment or something. In case you guys don't know, on Thursday I turned 46. What is this trend of shaving down the hammer on hammer pistols? Hideous scene, but Bull doing it now. So a lot of times they're for snag-free appendix carrying. One of the most dangerous parts about appendix carrying is your shirt or another garment getting caught in the hammer, cocking it and releasing it. You have to do a lot of other moves. But there have been bobbed and shaved hammers for as long as I can remember. That pair of ordnance up there has a bobbed hammer because it's a double action. One place was 50 for the paperwork for a handgun and 25 for a rifle. That's silly. Glock 48 or a 365 fuse? Well, number one, there's a 365 fuse on my wall and not a Glock 48. But number two, why would I support a company that's discontinuing 85% of their lineup because they're afraid of the government? Rather than support all the millions of customers that they've served over the 40 years they've been selling firearms, they got one boo-boo letter from California saying we don't want your guns in our state anymore, and they immediately canceled their entire lineup in order to redesign it so that they can continue to sell in a state that doesn't give a shit about guns anyway. Merry frickin' Christmas. Kyle turned 27 on Friday. Congratulations, dude. I remember when I was 27. Hell, when I was 27, I was 28. Do I like the Smith & Wesson 9mm Easy? It's fine. It's a completely different variant from a shield in that it is actually internally hammer fired, but it's a really, really soft shooting gun. Do you have any ghost guns? Nope. But my guns protect me from ghosts. I once shot a ghost. Only Colt 1911. Are you insinuating that only Colts can be considered true 1911s? Because I would then ask you to look at Ithaca, Remington, and Singer, who all manufactured guns in the 1911 style for Colt under license. And all three of those brands, Remington, Ithaca, and Singer, are worth significantly more than the Colts because there's fewer of them. They are also considered pure 1911s. So, no. Also, current Colt is owned by CZ. So Colt is not Colt. Colt hasn't been Colt since the 50s, I think, was their first bankruptcy or restructuring. Then they went bankrupt in the 70s. They went bankrupt in the 90s, and they went bankrupt, basically. That's why CZ was able to buy them in 2020, 2022, something like that. Colt has been restructured and reorganized so many times, there's nothing left of the original Colt. They don't manufacture in the same buildings. They don't manufacture using any of the same equipment, same people, same lines, same buildings, nothing. Well, they might own the property, but they're not Colt anymore. Do you suggest carrying with an extended mag? No. If the gun has a flush fit mag, put that into your carry and put your extended mag in your pouch or your pocket. How am I feeling about the 365X Macro? An X Macro is just a fuse with the shorter slide. An X Macro has a 3.3-inch barrel or something like that, unless you get the Macro Comped, and then it's got the 3.1-inch barrel from the standard 365. The fuse has a full 3.7-inch barrel, which is why I like it the most, though. Perfect AR length, minimum 11.5, maybe 10.5. It gives you full rotation in the barrel for the round exiting to stabilize it, and it gives you a really good mix of length for speed, as well as if you add a suppressor, it doesn't make it overly long. I would only carry an OEM extended mag. Well, here's the thing. Depending on the company, hey FV, what's up, dude? What's going on, man? Depending on the company making the mag, if it's Mekgar making your aftermarket mag, then I wouldn't hesitate to carry a Mekgar, because Mekgar makes 80% of manufacturers' OEM mags anyways, and then Checkmate makes all the 2011 mags, unless you run something that's para-based, and then you can go with para-ordnance Mekgars. So you can go Checkmate or Mekgar, and they're all just as good, even though this is technically not from any of my 2011s. It was sent to me by Checkmate. This is their 19 rounder that fits in a 17 body. Also, I found an extra Ruger American 45 mag. I sold the gun, so it's funny I have that. CZ is king. Devonty, no. If they're manufactured to OEM specs, it's not going to jam. Funkson, no, I don't answer political questions. CZ is nice, yeah. What's the pistol on the right below the rifle mags? Thanks. That is below the rifle mags. Oh, the one with the mags on the end of the barrel. That is my custom AR-15. I have 3 guns so far: Glock 23, 40 cal, 365X macro, and a micro J-Crew chambered in 7.62. I'm curious if I switch from my Glock 40 to my X macro comp as my EDC. No. Whatever you're comfortable with and you shoot well. If you're doing it because you just want to move to a smaller gun, that's one thing. But if you're doing it because you listen to people, like people that'll tell you 40 is dying and dead, it is. But if it's an effective round and you shoot the gun well, why would you switch? And the 365, the grip module, prints more than the 23 anyway. Have you ever had an issue trying to get an optic sighted in? Yes, but that's usually only when they're super cheap, like NC Stars or Walmart brand optics. I had this kid give me his 7.5 AR-15, and it took me like an hour to get it sighted in, because no matter where I put it, no matter how many clicks I did, it wouldn't move the right number of things. On my AR, I use 2-gun. I have a 10.3, run it out to 300 yards, works just fine. So 10.3, 10.5. I was saying at least 10 inches, 10.5, because it gives dwell time, or rotation time, because depending on the grain that you're running, you either want a slower or a faster twist rate, but most ARs never go past 1 to 9 for a 5.56, for example. So at least 10.3, 10.5, whatever. They're all close enough. Air Max, what's up? Very nice collection, thank you. If you had one gun for EDC. Well, here's the thing. If I was forced to drop down to 1 gun because the government instituted some kind of bullshit policy, you would see me huddled up in the backwoods of fucking Virginia somewhere protecting my gun collection. If I have to get rid of all my guns, let's say like they called in some kind of hypothetical, since that's what we're doing here. If the U.S. government came and forced me to give up all but one of my guns, I would give up all of my guns, because there's no reason to have just one. Sorry. So, the best silencer or most quiet, that's not a good question, man. And I'm going to explain to you why. This is a silencer. This is the Osprey 9 from Silencer Co. This is the 2.0. This is a very good suppressor. But if you run the wrong ammo through it, it's very loud. And depending on the caliber you're shooting, if you're shooting the wrong caliber out of the wrong suppressor, the suppressor may work great with the 4570. There are suppressors. If you run a 4570 suppressor, like a Silencer Co., I'm just using Silencer Co. because I know they're suppressors, but a 46M, and you take that 46M and put it on a 22, it's going to work, but not as well as a 22 dedicated can. So every company makes a pretty solid can. It's ammunition and gun that matter more than the can. You have a preferred gun color. Blued or blacked. My 1911s I like in stainless, but for the most part I like a blued or a black finish. I do like a gunmetal finish on some guns. No, I'm doing it because 40 follow-up shots are bad. there's your reason, man. Then absolutely. If you don't like the follow-up shot, if you don't like the return to zero on your Glock 23, and I don't blame you, they're shit guns. They're based on a 40-year-old recoil design, and they never really improved them. Even the Gen 5s, just going to a double-nested metal spring helps, but it doesn't mitigate their problems. Yeah, then switch to 365, dude. Simon, hello. Do you have a favorite compact 1911, 2011 under 4-inch barrel? I don't own any under a 4-inch barrel. The shortest 1911 I own is the Para Ordnance 1345, which is just above between the two stainless guns there, and that has a 4-inch barrel, I think. It might have the 4.25. I don't go short barrel on any of my 1911s. I don't like the way they feel. Best suppressor is a potato. 1.7 twist, 223 wild chamber with an adjustable gas block, MIM Trigger Tech Artrius Super Selector, H3 buffer, and Lantac Dragon Brake, good to go. Yeah, go over to FV Ordnance and watch his videos. His guns are set up amazing, and dude has so many better guns than I do. Yeah, so I also don't do long gun shit. So I know I've got an H3 buffer in mine with the Franklin binary trigger, straight face trigger. I've got the Butler adjustable gas block and a 750 adjustable gas block, or adjustable bolt and the adjustable gas block on mine. Do I have a gun, a Magnum, the Python? Nope. I'm in the Philadelphia. Multiple attackers is high with X macro comp. My spread is dead center. Well, there you go, Kyle. It sounds like I said, man. It sounds like you answered your own question. Don't hang on to something or don't force yourself to stay with something if you're better with something else, man. I carry that 5-inch 1911 every day. I've got fucking, Wilson Combats loaded up with some really nice 230 grain hollow points right now for it. Of course, I also have the DWX mags loaded too, just in case I want to run a double stack. But yeah, don't listen to people when they tell you what you should or shouldn't run, man. You know what you should run based on your own experiences. My C365 fuse recently had a malfunction that almost took my life. So do you have any opinion on rounds that are good? I jammed on the third round and it clicked. So if it was ammo that did that, then I mean, I run Hornady, critical duty, critical defense. I am running some ammo ink in this one right now because I like the shape of the hollow point. It's got enough of an edge on it that it will hit the feed ramp and go into the Para Ordnance. But yeah. No revolver. I have revolvers, they're just not up on the wall. What do you do for work? I own a gun store and I'm a YouTuber. Favorite round to run in the AR. I normally just run like Federal 223 or 5.56, just whatever's on sale. Right now I've got a bunch of Federal 150 round range packs that I had picked up for the store, but since I'm not doing anything with the store, I'm just buying it and using it. Just tuned in for the first time. Awesome wall man. Love the pegboard setup. What are the hangers for the pistols? They're just a cheap. Honestly, these are off of Amazon, dude. They are. They're just called 1.5-inch pegboard hang accessories. They're made in China. If you just Google or Amazon them, just look for pegboard hangers. The plastic ones can hold up most of the guns on the wall, no problem. I do run like random metal ones for the heavier guns, that Sharps Brothers frame and the Bull Barrel 1022, the Benelli. I don't feel like dropping a $1,200 gun or a $4,000 rifle, so yeah. Do I need to put all those guns back in the safe at the end of the day? No. They do move into the safe if I know I'm going to be leaving my house for any length of time. But for the most part, my building is very secured. I'm in an undisclosed underground location. But no, I have heavy steel bars on the windows and a heavy door since I'm an FFL already. And this is a reinforced gun room. I have a 5-inch Rock Island double stack 1911 with tack rails. Any recommended holster companies? Not really. I don't mess with holsters too much. I run a bunch of just cheap ass holsters. I buy them cheap and I run them. Are you even going to shoot anything? You can't shoot anything on a live stream, my friend. The last time somebody shot something on a live stream, it was his own face. Does anyone in Los Angeles smear their own poo? Or is it just me? Interesting. I heard that God Bless America in Carter's voice. No, it's an M2. It's the 24-inch bird hunting one. I'm actually trading a buddy for one of his 930 tacticals. I know that sounds like a loser deal, but it's not. Thanks for the reply. No problem, dude. Sounds like my ex-wife from work. You wash your feet, same thing you clean your butt with, huh? What? What's my opinion on 300 Blackout? It's a great round, designed to be run suppressed, designed to be run out of a shorter barrel. It is a 30 round that is within 1 grain of the AK-47 round, so it mitigates their advantage. And yeah, I like it. Just don't fucking accidentally put a 300 Blackout in a 5.56 and pull the trigger. Your ex-wife is from Europe. Oh, got it. I'm mainly a collector. Don't really want to trade for new guns. I keep everything I can get. Haha. You know, when I started doing this, and if you look at my other safes, I was the same way. It got to the point where I had to start trading off guns to get other guns for the channel. Like right now, I'm hard pressed to come up with content unless I trade off a few guns for other guns. But I don't want to sell any of these guns except for like 11 that I am selling. But they're going through my store. What are your thoughts on an ARP? They're fine. The main reason to own an ARP nowadays, especially since 300 Black came out, is if you want mag compatibility, like if you want to run a CMMG Banshee because you have a Glock or a 320, I've had both, then they make sense, but an AR pistol is just for fun. You're taking a pistol caliber round, which is already an intermittent distance round. Well, yes, it's lethal past 150 yards, but most people won't shoot one that far. And you're putting it into a much heavier chassis. They were talking trash because he used bidets. Oh, bidets are fun, dude. If you do a reverse fart while sitting over a bidet, you get an enema. 7.5 or 10.5 on the 300 Black. It was designed for 7.5. Now, 300 Black reaches its maximum velocity out of an 18-inch barrel, but it was designed to run suppressed in a 7.5-inch barrel. You see the Glock V's leaked photos? It looks like they came the same black backplate. The only way they could keep the backplate is if they somehow fixed it to the back of the slide so it can't be removed. They might have done it just for aesthetics. Thoughts on the ATF's lack of education after the recent presentations? It's a fundamental breakdown in terms of training their officers. ATF agents get told where to go, what to do, and who to shoot. They don't really get to think for themselves. The only ones that try to then go above and beyond and try to make their own laws, and then they get their dick slapped by the SCOTUS. So mags can get expensive, man. I had no idea before I got this shit. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the 365 Fuse factory mags are what, like $55 or something? I want to get a 5.56 upper for my 300 Black AR. The world's your fucking oyster, man. Oyster, not oyster. Oyster. They all fit. You just got to be careful. Mil-spec versus commercial. One of the reasons I might get the HDC 3.6 is because you already got a Glock. Nah. Let's see. Hello, Life and Farming. Bet he cannot even defend his wife without a gun against a guy that carries a big fat gun in pants. You do understand that a firearm is a force multiplier, right? You understand that a gun can go farther than my hand can. So if you're telling me that the other guy has a gun, why would I not want to use my gun? It's a straight up fist fight. If I lose, I lose. But if some nutsack comes at me with a handgun and I have a handgun, I'm going to use my handgun against the nutsack with the handgun. I understand that you think you're being funny, but you're just proving you're fucking retarded. Is the ATF trained to shoot dogs? What's funny about that is a buddy of mine who's an ATF agent, he did my walkthrough of my building and did all my paperwork. When he showed up to do my my paperwork walkthrough with me before I started the gun store, he was wearing a Cyanide and Happiness t-shirt of ATF agents shooting dogs. It was kind of funny. What's a missing component is education. Is the ATF though? I think a large caliber like 50 would fit in an AR. As someone who's military, it's disappointing. Number one, 50 caliber does fit in an AR-15. Get a 50 Beowulf. Can you shoot me using only your right eye? Yes, because I can switch which eye is dominant. Thoughts on the progression of digital optics? It's a cool gimmick. For beginners, it's not going to do them any good. I've looked at a bunch of them that were like really tricked out, like at the NRA show and stuff. 90% of shooters, it's not an optic. It's not something that you're going to be using in a self-defense situation. Acquisition syndrome. What do you mean? Yeah, I know about Ruby Ridge and Waco. Waco was an overuse of force by the ATF, but David Koresh was a piece of shit. Ruby Ridge was, again, I'm not defending anybody in any of those scenarios, but the ATF fucking overstepped. Really want a CG Shadow 2, but my price range is more SPO1. Is there a huge difference? Absolutely. The number one, Shadow 2 is a bigger gun. It has a better trigger. It has better sights from the factory. It's an easier gun to shoot with better recoil control because it's heavier in the nose. But the SPL1, I'm very capable with. Now, my return question to you when you're looking at the difference is, are you a capable enough shooter to use the additional features that you get out of a Shadow 2? If you're not a good enough shooter, you haven't put hundreds of thousands or even tens of thousands of rounds downrange out of CZs so you can tell the difference blind, then just get the SPL1, dude. What about the Micro Drago? Can I shoot without any sights and hit targets? Yes, it's called point shooting, and I do it in a lot of my range videos for fun. I reckon you like guns. No, I'm trying to contain them all, and I'm trying to keep them out of the hands of idiots. Can't pick up guns, Papa. What would you recommend for first concealed carry gun? What I would recommend is probably not what you're expecting. What I'm going to recommend you do is go to a gun store. Find a gun store that is actually willing to work with you. Let them show you a bunch of different brands. Pick them up, feel them, see which guns feel good in your hand. And then if you have a range in your area that rents those guns, go rent them and shoot them. That way you'll pick a gun that you like, not what people recommend to you. Because I could tell you get a Glock 19, until you can't anymore because all the nutsacks that are price gouging right now. But if you can get a Glock 19 and you don't like the grip angle, you shoot it like shit because you get Glock shot because they shoot like shit, then you're going to hate it and you're going to lose money when you sell it back in. What's in that bottle? Ammonium nitrate. ATF should be a store, not an agency. The ATF should just be the enforcement agency for the IRS. We already have redundant divisions. Yes, you can get Cajun to work on it. You can also buy a lot of Cajun parts. If you're okay with the sight on the SPL1, which it has never been optics cut, like mine is not optics cut, Cajun can optic cut it for you so you can direct mount like an SRO to it, and they can do their trigger work. I actually have a Cajun Gunworks single action trigger that I've been meaning to put in the SPO1. Suppressor. Omega 30 versus Banish 30. Would use it on a 10.5, 6.5 Creed, 5.56, and 300 Blackout. Again, unless you're putting lots of rounds down range or using them in perfect scenarios, I think they're within like 4 or 5 decibels of each other, so you're not going to notice. Why does the ATF exist? Because The government wanted to spend money. No, they created the alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives. It's to enforce the laws that were put into place so that they didn't have to use sheriffs and local police. They wanted a federal agency that could operate in all 50 states and do things. Unfortunately, they somewhere along the line, the ATF got it in their brain that they can do whatever they want, and that's where the problem comes in. That would be like a cop just shooting people because he decides that he's all of a sudden the judge, jury, and executioner, which is where the ATF oversteps themselves all the time. They are literally a law enforcement agency. They are not a law creating agency. They are not political in any way, or they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to do what the director tells them to. And it's also why they haven't had a true director in, 14 years? This is an easy subscribe. Thank you. Am I that guy selling couches? No, I'm just that guy that started the reviews on couches. Love your wall. Thank you. Need to round out your personality a little bit. You don't know me offline, dude. You need to fucking ease off the gas when you're online, because all you're showing is a dickbag personality if you're talking to me. I like your no bullshit answer on the SPL1. Few people cut to the chase like that. Thank you. Fun Tucky, the biggest difference between me and true gun tubers, I'm a gun tuber. I get review samples. I get paid. I have ads from companies. Not paid reviews. Never a paid review. But I am doing ads for companies. So I am a gun tuber, but I'm not Kentucky Ballistics. I'm not PewView. I'm not fucking M1 Garand. I'm not these other guys. I don't have to sugarcoat shit to protect the delicacies of a company. In fact, I just spoke to Jared from SDS today. He's going to work on getting me some new samples. It turns out they're super busy and they're going through a lot of stuff. So I reached out to him. I said, hey man, I need that DS comp. So we'll see if he gets me one. What else do you got your eye on that's worth buying? Nothing at this point. Honestly, though, I need to get an Alpha Foxtrot Romulus. I need to get a couple other guns. I need to get a Kuna because I owe Stonehaven one. So there are some guns that I want, but there's nothing that's like making me want to get rid of anything I have. I have 11 of my guns, including the Benelli list, up for sale in my store right now. So some of my 1911s that I never shoot anymore. So we'll see. If I sell any of those, I might start picking up other guns. Like, I want to pick up the SIG 211 GTO, but I can't do it without selling some of my other guns. You're a girl? I appreciate that, Sandra. Thank you for letting us know. Have you ever heard about GP Arms? I learned about them recently. They make double stack 1911s. They look pretty good, and I was wondering if you've ever heard about them. I've heard about them. I have not sampled their products yet. Yeah, Auk keeps on talking about them, and I may send them an email, see if they'll send me one or sell me one at industry pricing if I'm going to do a review on a lot of guns. I can't fucking afford it, dude. There may be 45 grand in guns behind me, but that doesn't mean I can just fucking whip out money. And I don't beg you guys for money. Do you see me saying, oh, you got to donate to help me buy a Deagle again? No, I don't give a fuck. If you guys support the channel, you support the channel. If you send money, I buy Rocky treats. My dog, I buy him treats and shit. Bro, you sure got a lot of guns. I got a few. I can grab one if I need to. Like a boob or a bird or a gun. Do you have bullets for all them guns? Yeah, there's not that many calibers on the wall, honestly. There's 22, 12 gauge, 5.56, 9s, and 45s. So I have ammo, all those ammo calibers. That's not much. What's the store's name? Win City Armory. W-I-N City Armory. I'm in Winchester, Virginia, so I went with Win City. And the reason I did that, I'm not advertising online anymore. If you Google my business profile, it says I'm open, but it doesn't list hours. I'm by appointment only, special orders, shit like that. I am not pushing my store right now. I got the license because my buddy wanted to get a gun store license in FFL. And honestly, I just got tired of waiting, so I just went ahead and got the license. Kind of regret it because I also had to get a federal business license, a state business license, a city business license, and then I have to pay 3 separate taxes a year. Have I tried out the new MC9 Prime yet? No, I've shot the LS, but not the Prime. GTO is definitely on your list. Nice. Don't whip it out! I don't do shout outs. You would be a scary zombie man. Your face is great for that. Thank you. And when I'm eating your brains, just keep that in mind. I went for you first. I like the slow brains. Great answer on the first gun answer. I work for a range in Florida. I see way too many people coming in with judges, small 45s, and Magnum wheel guns. Try before you buy. Yeah, and also keep in mind, like, I went to a range that lets you rent an Alien for $15 for an hour. Any of their guns, $15 for an hour. They had Jacob Grays, they had fucking Staccatos, they had everything. And if you spend $15 for an hour with a gun plus a little bit of ammo, let's say you like 4 guns, so you spend $60 plus another $60 on ammo. You may think you're wasting $120, but you're also getting to shoot guns that you might never buy, but it'll let you know right away. So if you were to, let's just put this in perspective. If you bought a Glock 19X MOS, they're $649 before the whole discontinuation bullshit. But at $649, you walk out the door with that gun, and a week later you come back because you don't like the way it shoots, I'm going to give you $300 for that gun. So you might as well spend a little in the beginning to save yourself a lot of money on the end. I'm a Wind City customer. Joe's the best. Thank you. Do I have a 226 Zev? No. I don't really mess with Zev stuff. They're very expensive. Got enough pistoles there? Nope. What's the pistol above the red grip pistol? The one behind you on the wall. It's catching my eye. Lol, can you show it? Yeah, why don't we do a wall tour? I do that every live stream. If anybody comes in, tell them to go to 41 minutes for a full wall tour. I was letting my battery charge a little bit. My battery's very low on this phone right now. Yeah, we're at 40%, so that'll work. I'm going to stand up. Stand up! Oh, answer about to fall down, so look at the ceiling. Okay, there we go. He is not going back. What do you mean? So right here, that is a Hammerly 22 cal. Yeah, Hammerly. Yeah, that's a 22 caliber 1911. If you just want to plink in a 1911 platform, get used to the battery arms. It has a grip safety and the external safety. The Star Arms Firestar M45 single stack 45 ACP. Just kind of cool. Yeah, I don't remember anybody Furon. Para Ordnance 1345. That's a double stack 1911 style gun, chambered in 45 ACP. The Para Ordnance CCW LDA. It's got no hammer really because it is a light double action, and I put a Punisher comp on it because I was bored. The Yeet Cannon. Most ranges will credit you on your range rental fees if you like and buy the gun that day as well. Interesting. I've never run a range like that, so I wouldn't know. Up top, we have a Benelli M2 Gen 1, so it has no provision for an optic or cutting the barrel because of the rib. So that's why I'm trading it to a buddy of mine, because I'm going to build a custom sport Mossberg 930. That is a 1022 bull barrel. With the barrel and the gooch of Milo. That is in a heat seeker chassis from Sharps Brothers. I have several Sharps Brothers chassis. I love their shit, and they've sent them to me over the years. So thank you guys over at Sharps Brothers. John, you're amazing. Let's see. The Rock Island 5.0. It has a square fucking barrel in it. Hold on a second. Let me grab this flashlight that just fell on my ground. Because if I grab a gun with a light on it, I'll get yelled at. Okay, come on. What are you doing to me? Oh, it wasn't charged. Really? Okay, fine. Fuck you. So yeah, it's got a square barrel in it, and it's kind of gas operated. It's an interesting thing. Have I shot the 1022? Nope. We got the Daria Arms DY9 with the island ported slide on it, which is pretty cool. Check them out. They're going to be a sponsor on the channel, so that's cool. I'm doing some ads with them. The TSOS BR9 Duty Double Stack Gen 2 with the bull barrel, so it's basically a Mac 9 DS, just with a duty style to it. So all the controls are thinner and smaller and tucked up against the gun. Even the beaver tail is shorter. You see, you see how most 1911s and double stacks have an extended beaver tail? The Duty does not. It's truncated. Pretty cool. Fusion Firearms XF Pro, they sent that out to me. Interestingly, Olight keeps on asking me if I want to review their lights, and they keep naming lights that I already own, so that's been funny. My customized Sig Sauer P320 M17. So that is an actual U.S. military issued M17 that I've completely defuckified and turned into kind of like an X-Full RXP. So it's got an X5 trigger in it, out of that gun actually. X-Full frame. It's got the extended barrel, factory threaded barrel with a Harrington Arms comp on it. And a CV Life optic, and CV Life has sent me some stuff too. There's an optic down there. The SIG 365 Fuse. It's a 3.7-inch variant of the 365. It's capable of holding 21 rounds, so that gun has the same number of rounds in it as that gun when they're loaded. The SIG X5 Legion, which is one of my favorite 320s. I like it better than the AXG or the DH3 or any of those. Although if I can ever get my hands on the SXG, the steel frame for this gun, I'll definitely do it and just redo the slide. It has an Armory Craft dual adjustable trigger. If you look at the trigger, it's supposed to break at 90 degrees. It's at about 87 degrees now. It has less than a millimeter of travel in it because I have the adjustment screw set, so there is no take up anymore. Why are you acting like you're DB, drunk mouse? The Heritage Arms Barkeep. Very nice little 22 with the 22 mag cylinder. Didn't come with it because you're technically not supposed to shoot 22 mag out of it for some reason. But whatever. My custom built AR-15 with the unique AR's upper. They're out of Idaho. They sent it to me a long time ago. Told me to try to break it, and I still haven't. Butler adjustable. Butler bolt. 750 adjustable gas block. For some reason, I have a front sight on it still, even though I'm running the Burris optic on it. Thank you, Burris, for sending that out. Custom stipple grip and just Magpul furniture. Holy shit, my arm's falling asleep. So we got the Chris Sphinx SDP Compact Alpha. That is the aluminum frame, the full aluminum. So steel, aluminum instead of steel, aluminum polymer. Echelon 4.7 or whatever the stock size is. It's not the comp variant, although I could run it in the Sharps Brothers chassis, and I'm running the Mechanic MEO3. It's an SRO sized optic, fits really well. The Ruger RXM, which as I understand is under fire from the government because they are such a true Gen 3 clone that they can be turned automatic. It doesn't matter, I own mine. $50,000 first buyer. TSOS PX9 Duty Comp with the cut barrel that released this year. I did a video for them. Thank you very much for sending that out, guys. That is the Canik TTI Combat. It's a Canik SFT Pro that's been slightly modified and colorized. That is the Smoke, the 2025 variant. It's a Canik. It shoots fine. It's not a Terran tactical gun, even though it says TTI Combat. If you notice, it doesn't say TTI Combat Master. Holy shit, somebody's spamming some bad words. Arex Alpha, it's kind of a 226 competition with a bullnose. It's made out of Slovenia. They make excellent guns. They're homage guns. They do the Delta, which is kind of a Glock style gun, and then they do the 01 Tactical, which is a 229 variant, basically. Springfield Operator Loaded. Love that 1911. It was my favorite until I started carrying the Para. Springfield Loaded Target Stainless. Fusion XP Pro. That's fine. If somebody does that, do what you got to do, brother. I don't care. But the Fusion Firearms XP Pro, that is the 1911 double stack that takes Glock mags. I've done some tomfuckery to the grip. It's got silicone carbide epoxy to the grip, and then it's wrapped in Talon tape. Feels really good, though. Tanfolio Witness. It's a CZ75 clone or variant. It's a really good shooting gun. Has the Mossad slide on it. So they did a run for the Mossad, Israeli Mossad, with front slide serrations, and the front does not have the Browning cut that most 75s have. It's really nice. SPO1, it's not a tactical or an Omega, but it does have factory night sights on it. Beautiful gun. I put those grips on there. They've been modified to fit that gun a little bit and meet my hand. And the Rock Island 5-inch double stack 1911, that is basically a Para Ordnance 1445, just, you know, made by Rock Island. Factory optics cut, pretty good. Then we've got my daily carry, which is the Para Ordnance 1911 Black Ops. Very nice gun. My Gerson Match X, I put the slides back where they're supposed to be, so it's got the comped barrel on it. The finish is different from every other Match X on the market because I had it reblued by Taylor's and Company. There's one of my carry variants of a Gerson. That is the Influencer X. I didn't like the mag release or the grip, so I changed those out. But once I had it reblued, as well as put an enclosed optic on it, it's a wonderful gun. Coming down here, we have the TSOS Night Stalker double stack. It was actually my first 2011. It's got a Fusion Firearms trigger and custom stippling by my buddy Greg down at Liberty Arms. He also did the tree bark on the Gerson there. He does excellent work. And then a customized Dan Wesson DWX. It's been battle worn, is the way I put it. Mainly because their finish was so shitty that I went taking it all down. Instead of just selling the gun and buying something else like I shoulda, I really wanted the optics cut DWX. I had a 2022 released DWX back in the day. I don't anymore, obviously. My first 2011 as well. Yes, it was. And you're actually the one that got the Prodigy. Watch the video on the Gerson Max X, like that gun. It's on my maybe buy list. Watch PewView's review of the gun and also look at his top 5 list when it comes to 2011s. It's on his list, and that should be more than enough to tell you that how good the gun is. When a guy that shoots probably 100,000 rounds a year tells you that a Gerson, $1,000 2011 is as good as the Turkish stuff, I would probably take what he says with the word of air of confidence. And yeah, I just adjusted my shit. Bro, that's stupid crazy. Love all them gens. Thank you. Elig, I literally said, that's my carry. Go back to 41 minutes, go 10 minutes back, and you can rewatch the, you can watch the replay. I go over every gun on the wall and talk about them. Do you ever fire a Taurus? Yeah, I mean, she might have been a Taurus, but she also might have been a Libra, but either way, she wasn't working out. Take what PewView says with a grain of salt. Take what anybody says with a grain of salt, myself included, man. I'm one man with a sample size of 1, so you need to make sure that what you're looking at is personally good for you. So go and play with the guns. Do I have a Makarov? Not anymore. Sold it. I subbed you, man. Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that. It's really awesome of you. Do I have a Tokarev? No, I sold my Tokarev. I had a pre-64 import with no import markings and no external safeties, and I ND'd into a wall, so I sold that gun. Would I say Tauruses are good to have? They're fine. They're a budget-oriented brand, so they're okay. Like, I've tried to get Taurus to send me guns to review, and they're too cheap to even send me guns. No, they're fine. You have the same shirt. Looks nice. Thank you. I've been running a apartment-sized washing machine that my buddy gave me, so yay. I can wash them as often as I want, although it doesn't get the fur out of them. Yeah, the AK, yes. Thoughts on Colt Tactical Lightweight Officers? Don't really care about them. I don't mess with smaller guns. I love the pocket on it. Yep. Just thank you, Mo. You have a Golden Desert Eagle? No, I used to have a polished stainless one, though. I sold it. Nobody wanted to pay for the ammo, but everybody wanted to shoot it. And that was back when ammo was so scarce that it was like $4.50 a round. Are those reals? Yes, my titties are real. At the Fudd Gun Shop in Arizona, the guy had a Tokarev and wanted 900 beans for it. It's funny, I bought mine with like a crusty finish on it for like $225. John, I already answered your question. If you could stop typing it over and over, you might have heard it. So, have a good night. Why don't you hold them? Because YouTube does not allow you to hold, manipulate, transport, or demonstrate firearms on a live stream. It is against TOS and will get you automatically in trouble. Worst gun ever is High Point. I had one discharge on me and I got hit with the 40 through my foot. All I did was put my mag in it and put the slide down. As soon as it went down, boom, 2 times. It was crazy. That sucks, Shane. I hope you're okay. I hope your foot's okay. High Points have that possibility. They're not well built. I truly heard you say that. Thank you. Any reports of the X10 going off on its own? What's the X10? Which one's the X10? Honestly, your eye is wall candy. Mr. Patrick, what is going on? Oh, I'm sorry. The SIG X10 guns. No, their trigger is heavier. Um, and also, all the X10s have flat face triggers. The flat face trigger guns don't go off. Sorry, the way you wrote the X10. Sorry, when you look at the guns, they actually say XTEN. They don't use the number. Sorry, X5 uses the number, but not the X10. Sorry. Yeah, man, I'm okay now. I appreciate it. Yeah, he has a crusty finish too, but also had a 9mm conversion kit for it. He's telling me it's not a curio because it would have been made in the 1800s. Okay, that's when you walk away and say bye bye. My gun misfired and hit my buddy's finger. That sucks. Have I ever played Russian roulette? Yes, in a Russian casino when I was 4 years old. I was drinking vodka straight out of a Russian woman's titty. I hit on green and doubled down and got 36 points. I got asked to leave Russia and never come back. And my cousin, Vladimir Putin, went on to do shit. I walked out of there. I would too, man. I've close to 500 rounds through my Taurus GX4 carry. I enjoy it. So I've got this couple. He's a really cool dude and his wife. He's an insurance salesman. He bought the GX4 carries for him and his wife. I put night sights, new recoil springs, internal kits in them. They're loving them. I mean, if you treat a gun right, assuming that it didn't have any kind of major manufacturing flaws, a good gun will just run. Do I have a Colt 1851 Navy revolver? No, I'm not really into older guns. I didn't get into guns until I was 38, so I like much more modern stuff. Why no 40 cals? 40 caliber is a dying round. It's basically a dead round. 9mm technology is so strong that you can run 154 grain 9mm and get the same penetration and almost the same power. What is your favorite football team? Well, if we're talking American football, no professional team is my favorite. I used to root for the Vikings, but they let me down like 7 out of 10 years, so fuck them. I like college ball. They're still trying to win. He said for it to be a curio, he has to register it with the ATF as a curio when he gets it. Somebody will get it for $100 at his estate sale. That's too fucking funny, Mouse. Bro, old is gold, literally. Here's the thing. As an owner of a gun store, like recently, before I stopped doing daily operations, I literally bought 2 Mosin Nagants for $300 off of a guy. Numbers matching Tulas. How do you feel about the 10mm? It's fine. I'm a gun guy, not a caliber guy, so I don't sit there and go, oh, 10mm is better than 45 or it's better than 9. I'm not like that. So guns that shoot the 10mm, like a Colt Delta Elite, I like the older ones better than the newer ones. They just re-released them after CZ bought them, of course. But yeah, out of polymer frames, I don't see the point. But, you know, everybody do you. Eric loves my videos. Thank you. Almost isn't the same. Just saying I run 9 and 40, but the 40 is my bed size caliber. No, you're not wrong, Russ. Almost isn't the same. But price, availability, and the fact that currently through RSR, who's the biggest distributor in the United States, they're listing for new guns chambered in 40 caliber were Glock, but Glock discontinued them, and who knows if they're going to bring them back. Good deal. I have a 43 Mosin with the Frog Poker. Got it for 200. That was a good deal. Ammo's expensive now for Mosin. Yep. You still coming down this month? I don't know if I can, dude. I can't afford it. I fucking, it sounded like a joke when I told you what I did today. It's fucking not, dude. I'm fucking broke. I can't afford to drive 4.5 hours each way. Thoughts on a 22 mag revolver for deep concealed carry in restrictive environments? You do what you got to do, Ray Ray. Yeah, no, I just watch everyone but saying with their best, but over here, like, all we have is an opinion. That's our right, whether right or wrong. That's true, Shane. There's a gun show here the 18th. Gonna shop for one. I hope it's a G3 Tactical or a Raider. Birthday gift to myself. Birthday is today. That would be tomorrow in the U.S. time. Oh, yeah, man. Guile, happy birthday to you early. Mine's on Thursday. So, Russ says that's valid. Yeah, thanks, man. Like I said, it is what it is, man. I'm not going to talk you out of liking 40 cal, and you're not going to talk me into loving it. So we can just agree that we both like what we like, and I'm happy with that. Thoughts on SPAS 12? SPAS 12 is kind of cool, but they're too expensive. To get a full, complete one with the stupid hook on it, they're like $5 or $6 grand. They're not even that good a gun. Pastrami or bolognese? Well, bolognese is a sauce on a pasta, isn't it? Do you have an AR? Nope, there's definitely not one at the top of the screen. Not at all. Have you seen the new Predator or Badlands movie? No. No, I have not. You are the captain now. No. Are all those real? All the ones except for that one that says the Jimmini Show on it, that is 3D printed by my man Drunk Mouse. He made it for me because he knows I hate Chiappa, so he made me a non-firing replica of a Chiappa Rhino. Have I ever shot a rock ultra in 10mm? If so, do you like it? It's on my wish list. Yes, I have, and I gotta say, it's kind of interesting. So it's a 10mm, so the cartridges are thinner, so you get 16 plus 1 in a 1911, man. They shoot good. I've got the 9mm double stack right there, and then I've also got, no, I don't have the 45 anymore, sorry. How much credit card debt do you have? $700. How's your foot doing? Is the ulcer better? Every day when I go to bed, I have to rewrap it because it's still bleeding. Well, just notice the PC. What specs you got in that thing? Do you do any gaming? I do gaming. I'm limited on the gaming I'm doing right now because I broke a 4070 Ti by dropping a gun on it. So it's actually not that impressive of a computer. It's just got some expensive components in it. So it's a i7 14700K on a Z790 motherboard, 32 gigs of, no, that's 64 gigs, sorry, of G-Skill, Trident, whatever. RAM, it's all water cooled with an AIO from Corsair. The graphics card, because I broke the 4070, is actually an old 1080 Ti with an EK Waterblocks distribution plate, front mounted radiator, and then it's loaded with guns. How's Rocky? Rocky's good. He's sleeping right now. I got video of him dead asleep. It'll be out on his channel tomorrow. Which is the rock island that closely resembles a para ordnance again? The double stack. The DS, they actually label theirs as 1911 HC for high capacity. But the double stack 1911 from Rock Island actually can use para ordnance grips and parts. In your typical range days, do you single out pistols, long guns, or do you do a lot of combo shooting? I don't shoot much long guns at all. I'm not a long gun guy. As I've explained before, I started doing YouTube videos after I was 38 years old. That's when I got into guns. And long guns don't really do it for me. I got a few. You know, I got a 22, a Benelli 12 gauge, and a fucking custom AR. But I really don't care for shooting long guns. It's the setup time and having to shoot slow to be accurate over distance. It just kind of gets annoying. What's my thought about the M&P 12 shotgun? I have not seen one, so I don't know. 6, sorry to hear about your G card. My G card? Oh, my graphics card. Yeah, it sucks. What a collection. Extremely jealous. English are not allowed to own them here. Sorry about that, Kitty Cass. I wish you guys would someday abandon the king and get freedom. Go just start pouring coffee or tea into the River Thames and just say it's an act of defiance. Do I have a 950 JDJ? No, sir, I do not. That's an extremely expensive firearm. Most American PC I've ever seen. I will tell you this much, Nitro. Ever since I put guns in it and on it, I have not had a single blue screen of death. Does the Rock Island really have a square barrel? Yes. Hold on a second. Look up. Not you, Rocky. Hi. So yeah, it literally has a square barrel. Let me see if I can turn on the light. Because it's being used by... damn it. Hold on, I got another phone here somewhere. Hold on, I got other shit. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Check that out. There's a good light. Hold on. Yeah. Square barrel. And it's got dog hair on it. The fuck, Rocky? But yeah, square barrel. We'll leave that like that for the whole video. But yeah, very much a CZ75 inspired design, but yeah. Interesting, right? What lovely tiles you have. Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's amazing. Every time I look at the ceiling with you guys, something interesting happens in the room. I don't know how to explain it. Deagle? Nope, no deagles. Don't need a deagle when you got a bunch of other shit. Why'd they make it like that? Because it's actually an interesting design. The recoil system is underneath, and it's actually retained right up front where there's a little roll pin in it. So it's not a standard design. It's actually a gas-operated design. Lol, Rocky took it to the range. Well, Rocky needs to understand that we have a rule, Rocky. When you take my guns to the range, you have to clean them. I did clean it. I just also added hair. Does the square barrel make it shoot flat? No, the recoil system being all the way at the front, the way it's retained, the locking block is all the way at the nose, as well as the weight of the gun, and the fact that it's 9mm, that all combines to make it shoot pretty flat. Tommy, thank you for the question. Good thing you have protection from ghosts. Thoughts on the Hellcat series pistols? I like the pros better than the standard ones. He is so tired. Bro, Rocky, why don't you go to the bedroom and go to bed, dude? You want to come here? Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. I got you. I'm just going to pet you. Come here. Come here. You're okay. You smell the fart, don't you? Yeah. Well, that's your own fault. Hold on. Let me see your eyes. Got any big boogers? Okay. Got to make sure presentable, dude. Come here, buddy. Come closer. Come here. Come a little closer. Oh, boy. How you doing, man? Yeah, stop sniffing there. I farted. Things happen. Is that a SIG 226 AXG Legion up on the wall? No. There is no 226 on my wall, unfortunately. I sold mine last one to Stonehaven. Oh, boy. Joe, you are formally invited to join Mrs. Mouse and I for the LA Auto Show. Once again, I bought dinner with change out of my car. Thoughts on the 365 fuse? The 365 fuse is fine. I got one right up there on the wall. Also, I'll be in Connecticut the day after Thanksgiving because my family's going up there and I want to embarrass all my family members with how good my dog is compared to their fucking dogs. I don't know if any of my relatives watch my live streams, but all your dogs are annoying. My dog is fucking awesome. And that is all. I was playing with the 226 today. Yep, very nice. Would I carry it? What accessories would I add? What do you mean? The 226 Legion? Nothing. I wouldn't buy one. I'd buy the X5 Classic before I bought the Legion. The reason I sold the 226 Elite stainless to Stone, number one, he really wanted it, and I think so what did I give that to you for? I don't even remember. I mean, did we trade? I can't remember what the deal was. Anyways, I sold it to him because it's not an X5. I want an X5. You know how many guns you have off the top of your head, or do you have to count them? I would have to take a trip and count them. I mean, there's 30-some up there right now. I've sold 65 of my personal collection this year. I've got 11 sitting up in the store right now. I don't know. At least 4. But I don't keep track of how many I own. What breed and how old did you say your pup was? He is a German Shepherd, American Staffordshire Terrier, and he is 19 months old. I used to live in Connecticut. Talk about a shite show of gun climate. Yeah, dude, Connecticut, you have to have certain weight fucking triggers. What do you think of the PX Storm Beretta? It's fine. I like the rotating barrel. It's novel. How am I doing health-wise? I remember a few weeks ago you were having some issues. Oh, no, my legs are still screwed. You know, they're swollen, they're bleeding, probably infected. So that's why I'm sitting. The reason you can see my knee is because my legs are elevated when I'm seated. I think I bought it for $700. Holy shit, give it back. No, I meant for the 365, what accessories would you add and would you carry it? It's not currently in my rotation, but honestly, there's nothing to really add. It has the X-Ray 3 night sights on it already, a really solid trigger. The grip feels nice. I might put an optic on it, would be the only thing I would add right away. You just ordered an A300 Ultima, nice. You still got 11 in the store, nice. Well, I put a few of them on the wall for now, but yeah, I have 11 that I'm selling. If anybody wants to buy all 11, it's only like 12 grand. May issue states for concealed carry licenses. Oh, yeah, the states that you have to apply and then they will decide themselves if they think you deserve to have a concealed carry, yes. Sold right now. Thank you. Give me your FFL's information and a wire transfer. My 365 came with a blacked out rear and a fiber optic front high sights. Interesting. Mine does not have that. You sent me the payment. All right, Stein. Why did you skip me? I didn't skip you. Silver hit $50 an ounce today. Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy. Man, Ramstein, you're going to really love those 11 high points I'm sending you for 12 grand. What's my strongest gun? I mean, I've got like 45 70s and stuff like that, so I guess that would technically be my strongest gun, but I don't really categorize guns that way, sorry. Wish I had 12K, got to sell a kidney for that. You can actually sell one of your testicles for like 30 grand. My Mascot gun that looks like an AXG Legion that's under and to the right of the Rock Island square barrel. That is a 6-hour P320 X5 Legion. So it's the one with the tungsten frame. That's why it's gray and not that weird-ass Legion green they've been doing. So it is a Legion, but it's not the AXG. The AXG has an aluminum frame. That's what the A in the AXG stands for, aluminum frame. That one has the TXG frame, which is the tungsten. I would sell it in a heartbeat for a steel frame. High point shotgun when? I don't know. What do you think about CZ P10s? I like them. I've had a couple of them. They're fun. What a steal! What are your thoughts on the whole Canik PPQ thing? I feel like since PPQs are usually cheaper than Canics, why not buy a PPQ since Canic's just a PPK knockoff for the most part? Number one, Russ, it is not a PPQ knockoff. So that's your first mistake. They are Walther P99 licensed guns. So they are not knockoffs, they are not clones. They literally pay a fee to Walther for every gun they've built. The TP9 series was based directly off the P99, and the Meta series is based off it as well. And there is no Walther PDP that sells for less than a Canik. So Canics are not more expensive than Walthers. I look more Asian than your Chinese uncle. Ni hao. Jealous how you have so much guns. Let me work where you do. No, I've done this for a long time, Jesus. That's where I got my stuff. Oh, hell no. I'm good. I'll keep those. Why? I'd sell both of mine in a heartbeat for a fucking Viper. What do you think about a Weatherby hunting rifle? One of the few guns I ever threw in anger was a Weatherby, and it survived. Didn't even take a scratch, so I approve. Well, I gotta ask you something about the store after stream if it's okay with you. I keep forgetting. That's fine, dude. Just text me. Angry Bird Pig. Thank you. Yes, I have a pig-style nose. If I was fucking Rihanna or another chick, you guys would love it. But since I'm a dude, it looks like a pig nose. Good for you. Good joke. Good joke. It gets hairy too. Um, you're funny. Oh, I keep dozing off. You've got mods here. Couple. How do you like the Fusion XF Pro? Love that gun. That one. So that was sent to me by the guys over at Fusion. That and the XP Pro. It over with no expectations. I loved them. I've given them. I've done videos on them all, and they've actually gotten a few sales from some of my friends. They sent over 2 barrels for that gun. So currently it has the ported barrel in it. They also sent over just the fluted barrel, but I like the ported barrel. It shoots flat. It shoots amazing. And it's not a Glock clone. So everybody's like, oh, how do you like your Glock clone? The only 4 parts that are shared with that and a Glock are the magazine, the recoil spring, the barrel, and the rear sight. That is it. How much more did SIG price that 320 Legion with the tungsten? Believe it or not, the 320 X5 Legion is cheaper than the AXG sometimes. But because that's the 5-inch gun, that gun was retailed for $950 when they first came out. I think they're like $900 still. And then it's got the Romeo 1 Pro on it. So if you duplicate the gun, that gun is like $1,200, something like that. So it's not that much. It's got a $150 dual adjustable trigger in it. I need your permission for something, for an idea I have. If it's in I'm sure it'll be fine, Mouse. But yeah, that's fine. I have already answered the question about the Weatherbees. Do not keep spamming. Do I own these firearms? Yes, every gun on that wall is mine. What's the one next to your PC with the brown grip? The only one with the brown grip is a fucking Springfield stainless target, my guy. Jimmini in chat bought the T-Sauce 1911 Devil Ray carry. I asked about it in Friday's stream. Now we play the waiting game. Lol. Rashad, I hope you enjoy it. I actually talked with Jared from SDS T-Sauce today, so I told him I could really use a Mac 5 or the DSW comp, so we'll see what he sends me. I did not hear it. My Wi-Fi is really bad. Gotcha. Well, the Weatherby, it's also spelled Weatherby, not BE. If you're using a talk to text, I understand why it's spelling it that way. They're solid guns. I like them. Why did the AR company want you to break it? So they saw the video of me throwing the CZ Tactical Sport Orange downrange. They saw me throwing a bunch of other guns downrange. And the aluminum that their handguards are made of are so thick that they wanted me to make videos of me trying to break their handguard. So it was just the handguard. They didn't want me to break the upper. Although that upper has taken a tumble down a mountain. At the gun range, it wouldn't call it a mountain, but a fairly steep hill, a 60-foot rock-encrusted hill. It went down that, and it survived fine. So did my EOTech. Let's see. To the left, everybody not in the left. Well, that is not brown, that's red. Sorry if it's coming off as brown. So that is the Fusion Firearms XF Pro. Weatherby Vanguards are made by Howa. It's a stock 1500 model. How's everybody spelling Weatherby wrong? You! Sorry, Rocky didn't even wake up when I did that. How many mags do you like to own with each pistol? Honestly, it's just, I'll buy them when they're on sale, and then I like to have a few minimum. Like, I've got 14 Checkmate mags for all my 2011s, so if I take one 2011 to the range, I never have to reload it. That one looks like it's inside the PC. There's 2 of them inside the PC. They're literally inside. Love me, say that you love me. I don't care about anything but you. What's the shotgun above the Ruger? That is a Benem 2 24-inch. Is that a Daria DY9? Lily, yes, you are correct. That is a DY9 with the island ported barrel. Very nice gun. I bought the base gun, which was actually a customized version with window cutouts in the slide, which I can't find for some reason, with the gold barrel and titanium nitride. They wound up correcting me. Thank you very much, guys at Daria. And they sent me the island kit for it, and that gun shoots amazing. Yeah, IDK, stop typing in all caps, dude. It's just annoying as shit. Have you ever met? If you ever have a meet and greet, I'm crashing it drunk. Well, you know, when we did the Faith and Freedom shoot for my buddy's gun store, a lot of people told me they were coming and they didn't show up. So I understand you might actually do it, Mex, but yeah, I don't hold my breath when people tell me they're coming to my shop or they're going to email me or they're going to be my father or they're going to give me $1 billion. Thanks, Elon. Fuck you. Why there's so many gun stream today? Something political happened? Nope. It's because you started seeing one and you didn't swipe away in time, so the algorithm thinks you want to see guns. Also, Veterans Day is tomorrow. Sounds good. Yep. No, I don't think he was talking directly to you, drunk. He just happened to say he was going to show up drunk as fuck. I asked it like 6 times and he skipped it every time. So here's the funny thing, IDK. Sorry I missed it, but I also don't work for you, son. I'm sorry if I missed it. You can ask it slowly, you can ask it fast, but asking it in all caps, that was the first time I saw it. But I don't have to answer every question, man. I'm not saying that to be a dick, but I don't have to answer any questions. I could sit here with my finger in my nose if I wanted to. It'd be a really boring fucking live, though. You mentioned earlier that you started getting into guns and collecting in your 30s. So how long you've been collecting as of now, and what's your guess on how much you have into your guns? Jonathan, I have, well, I'm 46 now, so I'm going on 8 years of collecting technically. I don't pay any attention to what I have into the guns. I spend probably 5 to 10 times more money on the ammunition, accessories, and cleaning supplies to keep the guns running than I have on any of the guns. For example, that pair of Ordnance Black Ops has 8,000 rounds through it. That's 8,000 rounds of 45 ACP. That is, a fucking fuck ton of boxes of ammo. And at $25 a piece, it adds up quickly. I have probably $1,200, $1,400 into the ammo shooting a $1,000 gun. Learn something and feel stupid. No, you're not being stupid, man. Rob, when you ask a question and it gets answered and we can all be civil about it, you know, it's the best way to do things. I wasn't being an asshole. I was just making it more obvious. My bad. No, I get it, IDK. It sucks when I miss your question. I apologize. But yeah, I'll get to them as I get to them. I apologize. I bought a super clean West German 229. Would it be sacrilege to get the slide milled for a red dot? No, because they're not rare. They're cool, but they're not rare. You could also just go on to eBay and buy a slide for. You can buy another West German slide for not that much money and just cut one of those. I actually did some work on a customer's Automag 3, the 30 caliber Automag, and he had 2 slides, one to shoot and one that had never been shot, the original. Almost 47 in a week. I'll be 46 on Thursday. God damn, yep. I don't know, the Echelon is a good gun or a Rock Island 1911. Yep. Good 1911 for a beginner. So a 1911 is a 1911. So asking what's a good 1911 for a beginner is a hard one to answer. It's more what's your budget. If you want to stay under $500, Gerson, T-Sauce is probably where I'd go. Rock Island, spend more money, honestly. But when you go to like the $500 to $700 range, Rock Island starts coming back on top. Gerson comes in second, and then T-Sauce is third. but it's kind of like a three-way tie that's less than 1 point separating them all. So it's kind of like, like when you go to a girl and you do. Any of you know what this is about? So when you do, this is Italian, by the way. So the race is that close. Am I left eye dominant? I'm left eye open mostly because I have photophobia in this eye. My eye was damaged as a kid. I was left eye dominant until I got LASIK surgery, and now I can switch eye as dominant. So now I just went right eye, but it doesn't like the light, so it doesn't like to be dominant. I'm actually reading the questions with my right eye. Thanks for the tip. Didn't realize West German slides were that common. Well, you got to remember, up until 1997, all SIGs that were in this country were made in Germany. All SIGs up until, I believe it was 1998 is when they switched to SIG Sauer. All guns before that are labeled SIG Arms, and they're all imported. Now, there are some frames that were made here and then equipped with German parts, but all of SIG stuff was German until they opened factories here, which is crazy that they have so much military contracts after only being here for 20 years. Do you have an EDC or do you have a rotation? If so, what's your EDC? Charlie, my EDC, my most common carry gun is that Para Ordnance Black Ops. That's why it's got so many rounds through it. I have rotated out some of my other 1911s, but for the most part, I'm super comfortable with that gun. I've got thousands of rounds through it. It shoots super flat, shoots super well for me. I shoot it well. So unless a company is having me do like an extended test on a gun, like when I was testing the SIG 1911X, which was their new version in stainless this year, I carried it for about a week. I don't know about Rock Island. Ever since I found out they're made in the Philippines, I lost interest. They're made in the Philippines to keep costs down, Drunk Mouse, but the company and the profits stay in the United States. They're based out of Nevada. So yes, manufacturing is done in the Philippines, but it was done that way to keep gun costs down. What handgun is that right above the play button next to the revolver? That is a Chris Sphinx SDP Duty Compact, or excuse me, it's not a Duty, it's a SDP Compact Alpha. I like my guns made in the USA, Germany, and Russia. You saw Predator Badlands, and it was a good movie. Nice. What's a good pistol to get when you go hiking? Again, depending on where you live and your budget, my friend. If you live in Big Bear country, minimum 10 millimeter. If you live in the Appalachia area, you can get by with the 45, a 9, whatever. Whatever you're comfortable carrying, my friend. Depends on how you're going to carry it, too. Are you looking for an inside the waistband, which I don't recommend for hiking? You should be wearing either an outside the waistband or a chest rig or a shoulder rig or something that allows you to get to your gun faster in case you need it for a wild animal. But I really don't have a good suggestion for you, man. Just whatever you're comfortable shooting and where you live. Should I keep my stock Glock 19X trigger or upgrade it? The question is, do you carry the 19X? Do you live in an area where you are likely to use it? And do you live in an area where using it could likely be construed as committing some sort of act against a person rather than self-defense, even if it was a self-defense shooting? If you answered no to all those questions, go for it. If you answered yes to any of those questions, no. You ever take a dive or a somersault while firing two guns at once? No. Extremely dangerous. They only do it in the movies because it looks good. Austria makes the handgun, in my opinion. You mean the company that discontinued 85% of their inventory because one state decided to ban them and they're a bunch of pussies? Also, all of their guns had to be discontinued because literally all of their guns are exactly the fucking same. I have their 2024 annual magazine they put out. Every gun they have is on the cover. Literally looks like they used the same gun and photoshopped it over and over. But yeah, Austria does make one of the handguns of all time. Nice, thanks, duly noted. Yep. What's your favorite red dot? Don't have one yet, man. Like, some people are like, oh, I'm Trijicon RMR. Let's all get him in here. McManus, you're an idiot. But yeah, McManus was like, "Oh, you get an RMR. It's the best on the market. You're never gonna break it." Blah 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 blah. And I kiss girls that accept credit cards. Blah blah blah. Hi, McManus. Whereas I've run them all. Like on my full size pistol, my Sig, that Romeo 1 Pro has never let me down. But on the same fucking step, honestly, the fucking Siley Chameleon that's on that XP Pro has never lost zero, and I've got like 1,000 rounds through that gun. So. Good hiking carries a Ruger single 6 with snake shot. You definitely live in California, brother. Do I have a Ruger Mark II? No. AMT Hardballer government model. Do you still have it? No, I sold it right away. I went and I put a new beaver tail in it, and after I reassembled it, it had a hammer follow issue, and I made a fully automatic AMT. Turns out that the sear and disconnector interface had worn down to nothing, so the gun was an auto. And I wound up selling it because I was very early into my gun collecting, and I didn't want to deal with it. Hollow Sun is definitely a good one to consider. I've got the Hollow Sun EPS full size on the RXM, and I have the EPS, and I have the 509 titanium on another handgun. Gen 5s are shipping. Great. Don't care. Sorry, Precision. Sorry, Bruce. It's just another gun I don't give a shit about. We'll see, though. Maybe it's novel. I know you've probably been asked this 50 times. How do you feel about Glock folding to California? Rewind the video about 3 minutes. I just went on a rant about it. TLDR, I don't give a fuck. I never liked Glock anyways. I don't like the company. I don't like their politics. I don't like the way they try to fucking blind you and make you think that their guns are good. So at the end of the day, them discontinuing 85% of their fucking line is the funniest thing I'd ever fucking read. Because they created a gun that literally is one fucking gun, which I've been saying for a year. Everybody always, or many years. Should I get a 19, a 17, a 34? They're all fucking Glocks. Who gives a fuck? They're the same fucking gun. So, yeah, I have, the only dog in the fight is the fact that I'm laughing my hot dog ass off. I've been hearing good things about the Vortex Defender series. They're fine. I like their glass. Hardballers do not always go for 4K. The one I had was not worth 4K, and I can't recall the last one I saw one that expensive. Last hardballer I was looking at was under 2. Dang it, just joined LOL. Thanks for answering, though. No problem, dude. That's why I kind of went into it a little bit. But yeah, if you want to watch the first rant, go back like 5 minutes now. What do you recommend for first-time buyers? Going to a gun store. Make sure you find a gun store where the guys are decent and ask them to let you try different guns. Pick up different guns. See which guns fit your hand. I recommend that you get a 1911 because for me, that's my favorite carry gun and it's perfect for me. You may hate it. You may love it, but you may hate it. So I can't assume that what I like you're going to like. So go to a gun store. Play with guns. Don't you have a Glock tattoo? Yes, but it was a Glock tattoo that was done in irony. If you look at it, it's kind of faded all fucked now. It's a Glock tattoo that's rainbow colored. It's got rainbow in the middle of it. Also, the chat is the one that had me do it, and you guys paid me $3,200 for a Glock tattoo on my arm. So fuck that. That is me fucking doing something silly because the audience paid for it. It's the only reason I have that tattoo. I don't care either because I got all the guns I want. Nah, Bruce, again, dude, I'm sorry. It's, I have to be honest and real. I just don't give a fuck. I'll never buy one willingly. And I know you like to troll me with the whole Glock thing because you like Glocks. And if you like Glocks, if you like the guns, great, more fucking power to you. They're not for me. And I hate the company. The company is the biggest fucking problem. I hope your ammo collection is as big as your gun collection. I don't need any ammo. Let's just put it that way. I approve of your rainbow Glock tattoo. The best part is the asshole that paid for the biggest part of it got banned. What's your opinion for top 5 must-have guns for general use, hunting and defense, such as No, I don't answer those kind of questions, brother. I apologize. I don't do those kind of things because, I mean, It doesn't even have to be top 5, dude. You just need 3. You need a good sidearm, a shotgun, and a rifle. And whatever guns you shoot the most. It sounds like a cop-out answer, but it's the best answer I can give for a generalized audience. There could be, 1,000 people watching, a billion people watching, and every one of you is going to have a different opinion. To that fucking exact point, I did the 3 basic guns everyone should buy video. I said, get a fucking Glock 19. I did. Get a Glock 19, get a Maverick 88 or a Mossberg 500 shotgun, and a fucking AR-15. I put those down. That's 3 basic guns everybody should have. Go watch that video. Half the comments are motherfuckers telling me that I'm wrong in suggesting complicated firearms. What's wrong with the Turkish semi-auto? Nothing if you want to die. How much did the guy that got banned pay? Like $700? I cleaned my '08 Loger and it has 3 mismatched parts. Sorry, dude. You have a very I don't give a shit attitude about pretty much everything, it seems. It's being jaded a little bit, and I'll admit that, Bruce. But also, I've been doing lives for 2 years now, and they always contain the same questions. So a lot of those cases, I say the same thing over and over. And you're right, I have gotten a little jaded. And my attitude towards a lot of stuff have gone that way. Am I losing my taste for the hobby? Possibly, because I opened a gun store. I'm not going to stop, though. I love 1911s, but I EDC a Glock 19. I trust it with my life. If you trust it with your life, go for it, dude. I guarantee you that I could pick up your Glock 19 and make it stovepipe on the first shot. All you gotta do is hold it loose. How's the back? Terrible. Thank you, Kat. Oh, I was wearing the Duluth Trading Company shirt you got me. But yeah, no, the back is terrible. You have a preference on where to get reliable, budget-friendly bulk ammo? AmmoSeek. Go to AmmoSeek, man. I'm in FFL, so if I need any, I just order from distributors. But AmmoSeek, in some cases, is cheaper. You named my first 3 guns, but instead of an AR, it was a Washer 10 AK. I EDC a Glock, but that's me. I'm thinking of carrying my SIG. I say this all the time. In terms of suggested reliable pistols, if you need one gun, you're not going to be an enthusiast. You're not going to have a wall of guns. You're not going to be the guy that goes out and buys 5 different 1911s or 2011s because this one has a slightly different beaver tail to that one. Get a fucking Glock. They run, they eat most ammo, they're going to be reliable, and they're going to get you home. But also, learn to fucking shoot it. But if you pick something as your EDC, it's fine that you're defending your reason, not you, but it's fine if somebody defends the reason they do it, fine if they defend the reason they purchased it, but you don't have to. With me, you never have to defend your choice. Am I a fan of pistol carbines? If so, what pistol carbines would you recommend the most? No, I'm a fan of PDWs, which is different from a pistol caliber carbine. Number one, everybody uses the word carbine without realizing its actual meaning. A carbine is a shorter version of a rifle. Literally the definition. You can look it up. A carbine is, so if you have a 30-30 that's normally chambered in 20 inches and you get a 16-inch, that's a carbine. So pistol caliber carbine nowadays is used to mean any pistol caliber rifle over 16 inches. I don't really see the benefit of a 16-inch pistol caliber gun. A PDW, a personal defense weapon, chambered in that. So I used to run CMMG Banshees, Radical Firearms. I had a Diamondback DB9R, which I sold to a buddy of mine. I've had a lot of different ARPs and Ruger Chargers, etc. I recommend those carbines. If you're going to go carbine, go short barrel fucking 300 Blackout. That'd be my recommendation. Sucks. I had some back spasms today too. Hope we're a little better tomorrow. Absolutely. It's going to be freezing freaking cold, so bundle up. Beretta. What's wrong with Glock as a company? Everything, man. Fucking everything. They label their guns as perfection, but they have the worst tolerances of any fucking polymer striker fired gun on the market. That's the only reason that they're reliable. That's the only reason they run all the different types of ammo, is their tolerances are so loose. That's how they run. But that's also why you can stovepipe one fucking at will. If you just limp wrist a Glock, like fire it with the loose hold on the gun, you will instantly stovepipe it. They have you convinced it's perfection. They're using John Moses Browning short action tilting lockup system. So Glock didn't invent that. All they did was come up with the polymers for the frame, and their striker fired system is very similar to striker fired guns from the 30s and the 40s. So literally nothing in the gun other than a polymer is novel to Glock. So that's number one. Number two is they insist on making the same gun every generation with only slight changes. That's fine if you do anything else, but don't fucking call it an all-new gun. They called the Gen 3 an all-new gun, a Gen 4 an all-new gun, a Gen 5. They put ambidextrous slide release and a different mag release, and they called it an all-new gun. It's absolutely stupid. Oh, they went from 3-roll pins to 2. Who gives a shit? The design of the cruciform, the fire control unit, the trigger system, they're all the same. So the fact is, they've been building guns for 40 years, and they're still charging a premium for the gun while giving you an inferior experience. All the people that are Glock lovers, Glock fanatics, Glock fanboys, all those guys, including Glock, they sit there and they defend Glock to the end of the fucking earth without realizing that, number one, their sales year over year don't grow. They diminish, actually, because everybody else is innovating their guns while Glock stays the fucking same. 7 different companies, after the Glock 19 patent expired, the Gen 3 patent expired, 7 different companies came out with the Glock 19 clone for $300 or less that was equal or better than a Glock. So the fact that Glock still charges a premium to keep exclusivity into the brand, it's like Glock thinking they're fucking Ferrari or Lamborghini. It's stupid. So my problem is the mentality of the company. Here's where I'm going to say something that is going to be a little ridiculous, but it's absolutely true. If Glock sold their pistols for $300 across the board, I would never say a bad word about them. Is the Tommy a PDW or PCC? Barrel length, dude. If it's 16 inches, it's a PCC. Although technically a Tommy gun is an SMG, problem is we can't get the full auto version. It was an SMG because submachine gun from back in the day. Differences between an AR and a carbine. Again, that's not... AR is a type of gun. A carbine is a length of barrel. Carry a Glock because I put mine through hell and it runs. I still don't carry a gun. I don't until I test it. That's the best way to do it. Foxtrot Mike and EP9 are insanely good. Yep. It's 55 degrees in Seattle. It's like 20 degrees here. Are you getting a V-Series when it comes out to test it? No. Glock will never send me one, and I'm not paying them $500 for a fucking non-optics cut gun. Now, if one of my customers wants to order one and let me do a video on it, I'm willing to do that. But there's no fucking way you're going to get me to spend $500 on a gun that's basically the same with a slightly different backplate. It's the same fucking gun. It just doesn't have a removable backplate. That's the safe action safety, though. Oh, yeah, safe action safety. You know what the trigger safety is on a fucking Glock? It's a piece of plastic that can't fit through a hole. It's a fucking play school bucket with shapes. Oh, which one does the square go into? The square hole. Literally, look at any fucking striker fired gun with a trigger safety. That trigger safety does not in any way interact with any component inside that gun. That little bit of the coloring on the back of this fucking trigger safety sits against the plastic of the frame unless it's fully depressed, and then it goes into the little rectangle that's cut into the frame to make the gun fire. I knew you'd say something about that. Thank you. What state do you live in? Anger, but also Virginia. Daggers fit in the same holster at 250. There you go. I don't know how Special Ops uses Glock rattle so bad. How do you sneak up on anyone? With luck. They had to make the V to combat the switch problem. They had to make a solution to a problem they caused. Can I order from your shop, or is it only in person? You can call my shop. I'm listed on Google, or you can email me. JS, what's wrong? Do you own a Glock? Do you own any striker fired with the trigger safety? Fucking pick it up right now, make sure it's clear and empty, and look at your fucking trigger safety. It's a roll pin going through the face of the shoe that holds a single fucking piece of plastic. It interacts with nothing. Couple ridges in the slide and blocks around the sear. See, there you go. Yeah, Joe, get a full auto Tommy. I've got a Tommy, and we switch parts. Thanks for putting that on the internet. Now we can't do it. So no website, and do you ship? I have a website, but I don't have the online store connected to it because it's expensive. And yes, I do ship. Oh yeah, I forgot about the dagger. I got a really expensive custom leather holster for the 19, thinking the DY9. Definitely getting a dagger for it. The trigger it appears to be slightly deeper, like it's a bigger trigger guard, so it might not fit. Most gangs use Glocks. I could say something in that regard, but I'm not going to. You like 1911s more than Glocks? Me too. But you saw it this morning. Let me look it up. God damn it. I like how you guys browbeat me into looking shit up. Glock V leaked picture. Ha! All right, that wasn't what I was expecting. Fuck, all these losers are fucking spamming the internet with these stupid fucking pictures. Somebody put one on a 320 frame. Some dipshit used a Rock Island frame. Yeah, I'm not looking. In my opinion, 1911 is the best looking firearm. Oh, agreed. And in terms of functionality, they have a single pull linear trigger on them that outshoots any striker fire pistol on the market. Don't give a fuck who you are. It's the best trigger on the market. If I get a Glock again, it will only be a Gen 3 and used. I'll never buy a new one and give Glock my money. Thank you, Brandon. Just make a Glock clone, half the price with all the fixings. Pretty much. That's why I got the Ruger RXM. That's a $425 gun with an optics cut. Granted, it's got $1,000 in parts on it, but, you know, to each their own. But that is a big example of how Glocks are a fucking money pit. And nothing against Sharps Brothers. I love the fuck out of them guns. John, you're an amazing dude. But I had to put a Sharps Brothers frame and a $400 optic on it. It's technically a $500 optic, but they're usually on sale. To make it as good as like a Smith & Wesson competitor, which also sells for the same price, or a Canic rival, things like that. I still haven't put my Jimmini trigger in it. But yeah, you wind up investing like $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 into a Glock to make it a $700 gun. Just sucks. All right, Mouse. Gonna live in the country soon. Was always a city kid, but I want to be in the outdoors, mostly bear and deer when I'm moving. Any budget sidearm. Find a used Glock 20 or Glock 40. Carry a 10 mil. I think Berettas are beautiful. They're pretty good looking. I've never been a huge fan. Have I had any experience with the TriStar APOC? What is the APOC? Yes, I'm over 18 years old. Let me in, you fucker. So the APOC looks to be their Glock clone. No, I have not messed with one. And if I had to look at it super close, why do I think TriStar is using Daria to build them? They're using a very similar removable backstrap system as Daria. But no, I haven't tried one. They look kind of cool. I mean, they look like a Glock, but at least they have the removable rear back panel. The undercuts are different. What do you think of a sex shot 22 as a protection gun? If you're having sex in the woods, you deserve to get eaten by a bear. It depends on where you're living, Michael. I always wanted to learn how to shoot the old guns in the 1800s or 1700s. They take a long time, but they are fun. Black powder's fun. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you explaining everything. I had bought a Ruger PC9 about 9 months ago and have nothing but good things to say. Ruger really kind of launched the whole PCC market with their literally called Ruger PCC. Really solid stuff. And if you get a tactical, they look just like an AR-15 AK style thing. I threw a PSA dagger compound lower together with a ported barrel and Lionheart slide for $300. Slide has an RMR cut too. She is accurate. I actually have a bare dagger frame sitting over here that I just haven't done anything with that I need to do a build with. You also get the RIA Turkish conglomerate vibe from it. Yeah, so here's the funny thing. So Daria Arms, they opened their company in the United States. They're making them in the United States now. They were the manufacturer for the DY9 for Rock Island. They also made the Melik and brought them in under Rock Island. So yeah. Get a Staccato XC and you will never need another Glock or a Glock clone. You must be new to this channel, sir, because I would rather eat my own dick than give Staccato any of my money. What lights do you use for your shotgun and how are they mounted? I have no shotgun mounted lights. I don't have one right now. I do have a Surefire Scout 110 that I'd probably put on one. Yep. The RIA shotties are made by Daria. How do you feel about AKs? They're fine. I got a few. Hip firing a gun with a laser sight. Is it accurate? The more you practice point shooting, the better you will get at it. I can point shoot a lot of different guns pretty well. Oh no! Sorry, man. That's the first line that came to my brain. Coyote PVD slide and battle green frame 43X. What do you think? To each their own, man. I watch a few different streams on here. For some people, seem to like to ask about Desert Eagle. Desert Eagles always get asked about because Desert Eagles, Berettas, 1911s, they're all in Call of Duties and Battlefields and most shooter games. So Desert Eagle is usually like the end-all be-all of the handguns to most people, and they don't realize once you get one and shoot one, there's better guns out there. They're fun. I've had them, but like I could sell the 5.0 and go get a Deagle right now, but I actually think the 5.0 is a funner gun. You're only on this target as your laser. If you don't sight in at the range, what's the point then? Yeah, and lasers should just be for get away from me guns. You know, like the Crimson Trace grip lasers and stuff. If you got like a pocket carry and you don't think you're going to be able to get it out and up and aim it at any time, then a laser makes sense. But for like everyday use, like I would never really carry a laser. That's got a laser on it, the Olight, and I never use the laser. What's my favorite gun? 1911s. It's almost spam at this point to ask about the Desert Eagle. It gets there, man. What's your EDC? That 1911 by Para Ordnance. That's a Para Ordnance Black Ops 1911 chambered in 45 ACP. I run Will mags, and I run, well, usually I'm running Hornady, but right now I'm running Ammo Inc. hollow points. Desert Eagles have nothing on a 500 Magnum. You are correct, because a Desert Eagle fires a much different round than a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. The 500 Magnum cartridge is much stronger. You are correct. Do I have any assault rifles? No, because none of my guns have ever hurt anybody. What holster do you use? Honestly, for like when I'm in store and stuff, I just use this Tagua. It's leather, but it covers the trigger guard. It actually goes into my front pocket. Ammo Inc. is CCI. Are they? I don't know. I don't want to grab the box and get yelled at. Have you ever looked at the Daria semi-automatic shotgun? Looks like a nice gun. Yeah, if Daria comes in here tonight, somebody remember to ask him about that. I want that fucking shotgun. But the Desert Eagle 1911 by Maga Research is definitely sexy. The reason about that, Brandon, is because that's not actually a Magnum Research gun. That's made by Bull Armory. Bull Armory makes nice guns. I don't know why my head is itchy. It just is. So Daria is coming on for advertisements in the month of December and January, so I'm going to ask them for a couple more guns. So they're doing ads and they're sending me guns for review. Let me explain the difference. Number one, what's the most dangerous gun you have? Any gun that I shoot more than semi-frequently with. Number one, if I have a company advertising on a video, I will not mention them in that video. I will not compare them to anything in that video. So on the Daria videos, they are getting ads on other products, be it lights, lasers, optics, or guns. I will not compare the Daria to any of those guns. The only time I will review a Daria gun is in a non-compensated way. So even though they're doing advertising, advertising is not a paid review. It does not guarantee that I will give them a good review on their actual product. So a Daria Arms ad would be like Glock ads on TFB TV. It'll be like Daria Arms, U.S. made and manufactured and blah, 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 blah. Daria Arms is producing new guns. If you want to check them out, use the link in the description below. Blah, blah, blah. I might show some B-roll footage, blah, blah, blah. But I will not promote them outside of the advertising. Bull Armory is always sold out, damn it. Hold on a second. Can you recommend me a next handgun around 800? 800 is a big budget, dude. You can get just about anything that you're thinking of. Personally, if I was to spend about 800 bucks on another gun right now, I would probably either get a PDP, and still have a lot of money left over, a M&P metal, Smith & Wesson M&P metal. Those are about 700 and something bucks. Dude, I can get the Black Cherry 50 cal right now. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at a couple of things at the same time. Man, Desert Eagles have actually dropped in price a little bit. Oh, fuck me. Hey, fuck me in the brown eye. Sorry. Bro, you got hella guns. I got a couple. What's your beef with Staccato? If you don't mind me asking, I don't know much about them except they're expensive. That's the biggest problem I have with them, but I'll go back to it. So I own STI Grandmaster. I've had a couple of STI guns come through the shops that I've worked for, and STI, before they became Staccato, were all hand fit, hand assembled, hand tuned guns. They were race guns, bar none. They were competition winning handguns. They were also a lot cheaper than Staccatos. So my STI Grandmaster, it's in 38 Super. My buddy has it right now. It normally would be sitting on top of the computer. Is a 38 Super true bore 4-port comp, 6.5-inch barreled, 1911, and it was $2,300 when it was new. It's like $5,000 now, but they were $2,300 when they were new. So they were an excellent manufacturer of handguns. And then they switched their role. They're out of Texas. They wanted to be like Texas Border Patrol carry, shit like that. So they switched up the role and started calling them duty guns. They also did that so they didn't have to hand fit and hand tune them. I think they're hand assembled, but all the parts are manufactured en masse. So they'll build like 15 slides at once and then send them down the assembly line, and people will just grab a random one and put it on the gun. And that's where my biggest problem comes in. The guns don't have the same fit and finish. They don't have the same reliability. They don't have the same quality. They actually have worse tolerances than the STIs did, because that's Glock's path to reliability. But an XC at $4,400 can suck a big one. That Match X that I built started as a $1,000 or $1,100 gun. It's got a stipple grip and rebluing by Taylor's and Company, so it's got about $300 in upgrades, and then a Wilson Combat spring kit in it and tuning on the trigger. It's got a 1.9 pound trigger and all Wilson parts in it. I've got less than $1,700 into it, and unless you have shot a Staccato like 50,000 rounds, you can't tell the difference between my Match X and a Staccato XC. Witness, yeah, both of those are technically Witnesses, but they're the Influencer X and the Match X variant. Something about an all silver 1911 with red starburst grips, drool worthy. Agreed. How much does that holster cost? I guess you're talking about somebody else. Love your channel. The collection is crazy. Thank you, sir. Would you recommend a Shadow Systems? Again, no. Why would I can't do it, because their quality doesn't justify it. They make a gun that's about the same reliability as a Glock. Look, it's wearing a jacket. They make a gun that makes about the same quality as a Glock, yet they charge a lot more money. Now, I know that you don't have to spend $1,000 on a Shadow Systems. The only way I can really recommend a Shadow Systems is if you buy one of the Foundation series. Then you get the fluted barrel, but you don't get the lightning cuts and shit. But you still get an optics cut gun for between $600 and $700. At that point, it's the same price as the Glock with better build quality. At that point, I can recommend it over the Glock. I just looked up how much muzzle energy a Desert Eagle has. It can get up to 1,400 to 1,800, while Glock may have 361. Well, yeah, but that's muzzle energy. It dissipates quicker because it's not going to go as far. Do I have a Glock 34? Nope. I do have a customized 17L, though. Thanks for answering. You've earned a new subscriber. Thank you, Charlie. And that's what I try to do with this channel. I want to give answers, and then obviously you can fact check me. You can go anywhere you want and check all my answers and make decisions on your own. But I try to be helpful. I also try to be a dumbass a lot of times. Rocky. Hey. Rocky. Are you alive? Sorry, dude. He got bit like a month ago and lost 2 whiskers on this side. So when he sleeps, his left eye is cracked open, and I thought he was dead. Great Lakes Firearms has a nice looking 1911. I'd be willing to check their stuff out. I like their ARs. I have seen it, and I need to reach out to them. So, yeah, I haven't really been pushing sponsors or review samples because I haven't been able to go to the range much with my leg. I was referring to the holster that you use for your 1911. So I use a Galco and a DeSantis sometimes as well. Those ones are like anywhere from $60 to $100, but this is Tagoa, man. This is a $20 holster. Clocks can go to hell. They will. Any idea how to get a castle nut off an AR-15 without the tool? If the castle nut has the little like indentations in it, You could put the gun in a vise and grab a flat tip screwdriver and just kind of knock it around with a hammer, but you're gonna chip the shit out of it. It's the same way you can get a castle nut off of a suspension component. Glock has a 2-stage trigger. Yeah. Yeah. Why you gotta be starting shit, Stone? Tool is like $15 on Amazon. Yeah, but what if he's doing it right now, bro? Amazon ain't delivering right this second. Come on, man. You don't have to pick on him just because he doesn't want to use the tool. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Walther P1, 100 rounds at the range. Didn't follow community guidelines. Around 4 minutes. Let's see. Says I facilitate the sale of certain regulated goods, even though that video is literally me shooting the gun at the range. I don't even bother appealing them anymore because they just fucking deny them anyway. Every fucking week they're removing one video. So I've been downloading all my videos. You should take a look at a CZ75S. I'm good. What would you recommend for a light to put on it? Your budget will determine what I recommend. Under $100, an O light. Between 100 and 200, and a stream light. Above that, a Surefire. I was thinking, but I didn't want to chip it, adding a Law Tactical and Super Safety to my AR, or the tool just has it come in. Yeah, you've got no real choice other than to chip it unless you're willing to wait. You could put tape on the tip of the screwdriver, but you're still going to wind up chipping it. There's nothing you can do about it. Glock also sells horse splooge. I don't see Daria funneling horses. That's crazy. Yeah, what, you're talking about them removing my content? Yeah, they're taking one video down a week. So they're just fucking retards. I mean, it depends on how much you're using the light, I guess. I mean, if you're only using the light recreationally or non-frequently, then who cares, you know? If you can get a 400 to 600 lumen light for $20, it'll probably do you. I'm doing some videos on a couple of other lights, so Nightcore and Through New lights from time to time. Like this is one of their newer lights, although it didn't want to turn on even after I charged it, but I wasn't charging it right, so we'll have to see. Night. All right, Stone. People probably reporting. No, that's not it, dude. I actually have a YouTube partner that checks that shit so reports don't get my shit pulled. That was YouTube themselves going through. They're doing it on all my videos from 8 years ago. So they're slowly coming up through the past and removing my content. What's going on? Well, we're about to end the live stream, Drone. That was bright. Because it's a little after 10. I have to constantly check to make sure I'm still subscribed to you because they love unsubbing people. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. So I got to double check if I have the video that they pulled down fucking up still. Because, well, I can look at it while I'm trying to appeal it. So if it's still up and available, I'm going to download it real quick. All right, hold on a second. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do is we had to end the live stream anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the live stream, and then I'm going to download that video. I bought a Taurus GX4 for $180 to upgrade my carry for my Ruger. Could I have done better with my $200 budget? Not really. Everyone make sure to hit the like. That was bright. I thought the phone messed up. Yeah, Algo, you can get a dagger for $220 and new for, yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's still kind of along the same kind of lines, dude. Dagger, Taurus. Taurus actually has better quality control than PSA still. Rocky, I'm going to show you to the world. Here you go. Everybody loves you. Go subscribe to his channel, A Dog and a Dude. Are you alive? Are you awake? You good, buddy? You still kicking there, bud? Yeah. He's tired. He wants to go to bed. New short on your channel. PVC pipe, the diameter of a castle nut, cut 2 C shapes from the end of the pipe, leaving 2 notches that fit the castle nut. Try pliers to twist. Yeah, that's possible. Good stream tonight, man. Have a good night. Yep. He ate the treat, and the last treat I tossed him, he didn't eat. So, no. He's too tired to eat treats. I will throw this light at him, though, unless somebody gives me $10. 1, 2. All right. Oh, I almost knocked the whole box off the edge of the counter. Off the edge of the desk. Hey, Rocky, if I throw this at you, what are you going to do? Look how tired my boy is. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here, buddy. You got enough energy to stand up, pal? He woke up for the box. He woke up for the box because if the box had fallen off the desk, it would have hit him. No, he doesn't. My dog only likes treats when he wants them. You good, buddy? Look at that tongue. Yep. Oh, I finally got it on camera. He's so tired that he just wants to cover his head and go back to sleep. This is why I got to end the live stream, guys. My dog is tired. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, guys. Thank you, guys. So, all right, come back for a next one. And like always, I'll talk to you later.